The Poor Cobbler. Once upon a time, in the city of Arazar, there lived a poor cobbler named Brahm. Brahm would work all day to make as much money as he could to support his family and have a decent meal, but he would always end up with very little. One day, as Brahm was mending some old shoes, a man came up to him. He was a tall and mysterious man, wearing a hat and a trench coat.
Hello there, friend. I would like to get my shoes polished. I do not have any money, but I have to be somewhere very important immediately.
The cobbler hesitated, as he had not earned a single coin all day, but then agreed to help the man.
Sure, sir. I will help you. Please, have a seat and place your foot on the stand.
The man sat down, and Brahm polished his shoes to perfection, leaving them shining and sparkling like the still water under a dark night sky.
Done, sir. Very well done, my friend. Trust that I shall reward you heavily for this good deed. I am a magician who lives by the cottage at the edge of the woods, and I have to meet very important wizards from Senali. You have done me a great favor.
The magician snapped his fingers, and with a burst of smoke, a goat suddenly appeared before the cobbler. Brahm was surprised.
This is a magic goat. All you need to do is say, "Goat, shake yourself and bring forth good fortune," and you shall find yourself blessed with a bunch of gold coins.
Saying this, the magician disappeared into the distance.
Wow, I must try this at once. Goat, shake yourself and bring forth good fortune.
And the goat shook itself, causing gold coins to fall to the floor. The cobbler was astonished.
Oh my! The man was actually true to his word. I shall go home to tell my family at once.
Brahm packed up his tools, put the goat on his shoulders, and with great joy made his way to his house. While he was walking, he was passing his Aunt Ingrid's house near the field. She saw him walking by with the goat on his shoulders and called out to him. "Hey, Brahm, come by and sit with your aunt, won't you?" He thought to himself whether he should go and sit with her, as he wanted to run home to tell his wife about the magical goat.
Well, I am thirsty and tired from walking with this goat on my shoulders. Maybe I could have 1 cup of tea and then head home.
Brahm went up to his aunt's house and handed over the goat to her. And before he walked in, he said,
Whatever you do, do not say the words, "Goat, shake yourself and bring forth good fortune."
Brahm sat and waited for his aunt to bring him some tea. And as he was waiting, Ingrid wondered what he meant when he told her not to say those words. She went into the kitchen where the goat was kept, and she went up to it and said the magical words, "Goat, shake yourself and bring forth good fortune." And immediately the goat shook itself and gold coins fell to the ground. "Oh my! This will be of great use to me. I should find a way to deceive him." Ingrid mixed some herbs into his tea and served it to Brahm. This sent him to sleep immediately. As soon as the cobbler was deep in his slumber, Ingrid replaced the magical goat with one of her own. The next morning, Brahm took the goat upon his shoulders and made his way back home. When he arrived home, he kept the pouch of gold coins in front of his wife.
Here, take these gold coins so that you can prepare a good meal for us today.
His wife was so happy that she did not think to question where he got the gold coins from, and left to go to the market. After some time, he wished to use the magic words and get some more gold coins from the goat. He recited the words that the magician had told him to, but the goat lay as still as a rock.
This is odd. Why isn't this working?
He repeated the magical words, but it was all in vain, as the goat did not even flinch.
I will have to make do with the remaining gold coins, and once they are almost over, I shall go and find the magician once again.
After a few days, as his wife began to nag him to work as the gold coins were almost gone, he set out to find the magician. Finally, he found the magician's cottage. He went in and spoke to the magician and told him how he needs to feed his family. The magician was a man of compassion, and he put his hand on the cobbler's shoulder and said,
"Don't worry, my friend. Here is a magic cloth. Lay it in your arms and say, 'Oh, magic cloth, spread yourself and bestow the feast.' And a table filled with the most beautiful spread of food and drinks shall lie in front of you."
Brahm was ecstatic at hearing what the magician had said. He thanked him and left to go back home. As Brahm was walking back home from the woods, he reached the field where his aunt stayed and decided to go share a meal from the magic cloth.
"I was passing by, and since you were so kind as to serve me some tea the last time, I only thought it would be fitting to return the favor and bring you some food."
"Oh, how lovely! Come on in." And so Brahm went in and lay the magic cloth in his arms and said,
"Oh, magic cloth, spread yourself and bestow the feast."
And within moments, a beautiful table appeared before them, filled with the most delicious and tasty spread of food. Aunt Ingrid was astonished, and despite his kind gesture, she decided to trick the cobbler once again and mix the herbs in his food. They sat and ate till they satisfied their hunger and enjoyed the royal feast to the fullest. Soon the cobbler felt sleepy once again, passed off, and while he was sleeping, his aunt replaced the magic cloth with a normal one, fooling him once more. The next day, Brahm went back home and laid the cloth in his hands and chanted the magic spell. This time, the spell did not work, and the cobbler was left standing like a scarecrow in the middle of the room. His wife looked at him, wondering if the poverty had made him go crazy, and walked away.
"This can't be! I'm sure my aunt is playing some trick on me."
Brahm left and went to the magician's house again. He explained to the magician all that had happened and pleaded to him to help him once more. The magician, being a compassionate man, agreed to do so and said,
Do as I tell you and take this magic feather. On your way back, visit your aunt and tell her that this feather will fulfill as many wishes as one's heart desires. And tell her to chant this spell, "Oh, magic feather, grant me a wish." And immediately the feather will begin to tickle her to no end.
"Oh, thank you, kind sir."
And remember, you can only stop it by saying, "Magic feather, my wish has been granted," and the tickling will stop.
Brahm thanked the magician once more and left to go to his Aunt Ingrid's house. He went to his aunt's house by the field and told her about the magic feather. Immediately, the woman fell for the cobbler's trick and chanted the spell. "Oh, magic feather, grant me a wish." The feather floated in the air and suddenly started tickling the woman. Aunt Ingrid laughed and giggled till she could take it no more. "Stop it! Please stop! I can't tickling anymore!"
"I will only stop on one condition."
"Anything you want, I will give you. Do you?"
"All right then. Please return to me what is rightfully mine and give me the magic goat and the magic cloth."
Okay. They're both in the kitchen. And so, Brahm ran in the kitchen and grabbed the cloth and carried the goat in his shoulders. He came out of the kitchen and said,
"Magic feather, my wish has been granted."
And the magic feather swirled around him, making him disappear and magically sent him back to his house. He reached home and showed his wife the magic goat and cloth. His wife was overjoyed and hugged him immediately. Later, they sat and feasted on the lavish meal and discussed ways to use the magic goat and the cloth to their full advantage. They used the gold coins to build his business as a cobbler. and spent most of his gold coins to help the poor people in the city. And as for his Aunt Ingrid, well, the feather still keeps appearing in her house out of nowhere and makes her help the poor and the needy that she had once deceived.